Welcome to Robinson Foundry. This is my new Precision Matthews milling machine. This thing is going to be a great addition to my channel. Having the ability to machine my metal castings on a mill is something I've been wanting for a long time because metal casting and machining go hand in hand. Most metal castings are cast and then machined to turn them from rough castings into useful parts. In fact, this mill is a perfect example of that. All of the large pieces that make up this machine were cast in a foundry and then precisely machined. I have very little experience operating a milling machine, so we'll be learning together, and I welcome any advice or suggestions you might have. I thought it would be a fun first project to cast some ingots in a sand mold and then machine them into perfect, but more importantly, shiny and pretty ingots. I started by CAD modeling some very simple ingot patterns and then 3D printing them. I know some of you are probably wondering why I don't just pour metal into an open mold. Well, if I did that, the casting would end up with a large amount of shrinkage in the center like this. Shrinkage will still be a problem with these castings because they're so large, but that's what these tall parts are for. They're called risers, and their job is to supply the main castings with metal as they solidify and shrink. Once my 3D printed patterns were ready, I made a simple sand mold using an oil bonded sand called Petrobond. Removing these patterns was a lot easier said than done, and I ended up completely destroying the mold when I tried to remove them. I ended up having to remake one part of the mold using a newer sand that stuck together a little better. Once I successfully removed the patterns from the mold, I drilled a hole to pour the metal into called a sprue. I needed some brass, so I went through a bunch of plumbing fittings that I had saved up. I picked out a bunch that were mostly brass and then went to work disassembling all that I could to make sure that there was nothing other than brass going into the crucible. I figured 12 pounds, or about 5.5 kilos, would be enough to fill the mold. I loaded up a crucible and then waited about 40 minutes for the brass to melt in my furnace. I recently created a Patreon account, so if you'd like to help me continue to make these videos, then Patreon is a great way to do that. In addition to helping out the channel, you'll gain access to 3D printing files and Patreon-only content. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who has already signed up. It really is a big help. Once the brass was melted, I removed the crucible from the furnace and poured the brass into the mold as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, this is when I realized I made a very simple mistake in mold making that I knew I would make sooner or later. I forgot to add channels running from the sprue into the mold cavity, and as a result, only the sprue filled up and then metal started overflowing. I was able to partially fill the mold by pouring the brass directly into the open riser, but I no longer had enough metal to fill the mold completely. These castings really did not turn out well at all, so I had to start over. I had to remake the mold anyway, so I decided to redesign the pattern slightly by placing the riser directly on top of the ingot. I figured this might do a better job at preventing the casting from shrinking. These castings turned out a lot better, but as you can see, they did shrink quite a bit. At this point, I was really reconsidering whether this whole process was even worth the effort. I decided to go ahead and try and salvage what I could out of them and went to work cutting off the sprues and risers. Really, only one of these was worth trying to clean up, and I'll just remelt the others. Now for the fun part. Machining this was a simple process that's used as a first step in making parts on a milling machine called squaring up stock. First, I used a 2-inch face mill with carbide inserts to machine 4 sides. This tool leaves an amazingly smooth, glassy finish. It's really cool seeing the rough surface of the casting peeled away to reveal the shiny brass underneath. Once I was finished with those sides, I used a 5/8 4-flute carbide end mill to machine the ends. It looked really nice like this, but I wanted the machining marks to look a little more uniform, so I took another light pass with the facing mill. Then I used a 45-degree chamfering end mill to cut a substantial chamfer on all the edges. This whole machining process might seem like a lot of work, but it really only took about an hour. Well, that's it. I have to say, this thing turned out really nice looking, and so far, the new milling machine is working really well. I was going to give the brass a mirror polish, but I decided to just leave the machining marks. This ended up being a lot more effort than I thought it would be to make, but I wanted to demonstrate how a milling machine can quickly transform an ugly casting into something that's really nice looking and also extremely dimensionally accurate. As usual, I'll have affiliate links in the description for things I've used in this video, as well as things that I would recommend. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this, and if you did, please let me know what you think in the comments, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe for future videos. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.